Hey guys, it's Mindie and welcome back to another art video. So for today's video, I decided to share with you my 7th sketchbook just like I promised. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to share with you my 7th sketchbook because this is the fastest I've filled a sketchbook so far. It's only taken me 3 months and I'm excited, so yeah. And my current sketchbook that I'm working on is this guy. You may recognize the sketchbook from my 2016 Singapore haul video, I think it was, and yeah, I got the sketchbook a while back and I was really intimidated on using it because the paper is just so nice that I didn't want to ruin it, but that's another tangent for a different video. So, let's get started with my 7th sketchbook. So for the first page, we have the cover page, and as you can see here, the sketchbook kind of tore apart at some point, and that's because before I started working on this sketchbook, I've had other drawings sporadic out in this sketchbook, and it was kind of like a doodle book for me, and those drawings weren't as nice as I wanted it to for my sketchbook, and so I know that if I don't get rid of them at some point or rip them out or something, that I would never ever touch the sketchbook again. So just for the sake of finishing another sketchbook in my drawer, I decided to rip out all those old pages, and I don't remember where they are. I think they're still in my folder somewhere, but yeah, there's that. So that's why I ripped them out, so I can get a use out of this entire sketchbook, which is a good thing. So my first cover page, not the best cover page, but so I started on the 8th of August 2018 to the 3rd of November 2018, and it's been a while since I finished this sketchbook, and yeah, it's just taken me a while, okay? Just leave me alone. And for here, I was designing thumbnails for my cover page. And these two characters are the characters I designed in my last sketchbook tour. If you recognize these two, leave them in the comments. And yeah. If you haven't seen that sketchbook tour, I'll leave a link up here, so you can go check that out because that was one of my poofiest sketchbook I've ever had. So yeah. I think I was designing a character for one of my friends, and I really like his character design, not gonna lie, so there's that. More self-portrait sketches. This is kind of like a self-portrait Copic illustrations of me. I have this shirt and shorts. I was gonna say skirt, but I meant shorts. But yeah, it's kind of like my signature outfit. I wore this all the time. And I think around this time was when my school district has a singing competition, and there were a bunch of kids who auditioned, and I was one of those kids who auditioned. Not really much of people my age, but more of like little kids, you know. Yeah, so I kind of drew something out of that. I did made it into the finals, but that's a story for a different video. Anyway, here I was drawing some cats and bunnies out of, there was this documentary I found on YouTube, and it was really short, but it was about a bunny, or about a cat who is in love with a bunny, and they're like best friends or something, and I think it was absolutely adorable, so I drew something out of that. And I drew some more buns because they're cute. Try designing clothing, didn't work out. I really don't like how this page looked, but whatever. Working with some girls in weird sunglasses, because that's just what I felt back then. Like, I felt like the sketchbook is really good for sketching and not so for watercolors like this guy. This page is probably my first watercolor painting in this sketchbook. And for this sketchbook, there's like a love and hate relationship with my watercolors. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hated it, and yeah. And after I finished this piece, I was like, yep, this sketchbook is not meant to be for working with watercolors, and so I kind of quit a little bit. But I did end up using more watercolors because I was forcing watercolors on the sketchbook and try to make it work. Didn't really work out in the end, but I still did some watercolor pieces in here. Designing a character for a story I have in my head. Color swatches of my Sakura or Koi Sakura 24 watercolor set. Yep. and I didn't have enough space, so I just put it here. Here's another watercolor illustrations that I was talking about, and like I said, I have a love and hate relationship with watercolors, man. Like, this turned out okay. Also, this one turned out also okay, but when I was working on it, it looked terrible. And once it dried, it looked a lot better. So that's just, like, you need to have patience with this sketchbook with watercolors. That's just what I've learned. And yeah, I used my gold paints on this one as well as this one. See how it shines? Yay. Trying to work with ballpoint pen. I'm pretty sure I didn't use any like pencil guidelines at all. I just went in with a ballpoint pen because I feel super loose. And it turned out into a huge, gross. Whatever, I don't really like this page. And this is the moment where I realized watercolors really doesn't work with the sketchbook at all. And I used my Ecoline watercolor, the black one that I had, and I was trying to do something cool. It turned out really bad. I really don't like it, so just move on. And the really weird thing that happened is, like, I used black, but it ended up looking really green back here. I don't know what happened, but it's just weird, man. Yeah, so I drew some doodles around it. More doodles of me and my friends. This is me. I was tiny. I know. Shut up. This is a spread that happened a couple months back, I think it was. I was going to a PlayStation Asia convention and I didn't made it in, and at the time Brian Deckert or Brian Dechart, I really don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was Connor in Detroit Become Human, and he was in Thailand, man. And I was like, I have to meet this dude, and we tried really hard. I was with a friend and we tried really hard to get in, but we didn't get in. It was sad, but that's a story for a different video. So I drew Connor and Tracy. I remember watching some Undertale videos back then, and I missed the fandom, so I kind of drew something out of that. I drew Frisk. I really like this little doodle down here. I think she looks really cute. This is like a really cool concept I made up. It's like a cards thing with my friends, and maybe I can do this in the future. I want to make a video out of this, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Blobs, because I realized I haven't done blobs in the sketchbook yet, so let's try that. And yeah, try to turn these into cats. I really like how these turned out. Trying to work with the old era fashion, and let me tell you, it's not easy. But yeah, for the 1950s, 1960s, and 1980s, I tried to search like old era fashion, but most of them pretty much looks identical, so it's hard to find like each style for different years. So yeah, I really don't like how this page turned out. I kind of rushed it at the end, and I was like, ugh, hate this page. But then again, I really like how she turned out. Anatomy studies, because I wasn't good at anatomy, and I remembered that I have to do anatomy studies because my anatomy wasn't strong. It still isn't strong. I think this was around the time Wreck-It Ralph 2, like Ralph Breaks the Internet trailers are coming out, I think. I don't remember, but I was inspired to draw Disney princesses, and I drew my favorite Disney princess, Rapunzel, and yeah, she's my favorite Disney princess. Down from that, like my second favorite is probably Moana, but I don't know. I have an Art of Moana book. That just kind of proves how much I like Moana. Okay. Anyway, working with colored pencils, this too. Didn't really work out, but can't complain. I think I was watching Five Nights at Freddy's Theories that Matt Pat did, and I just really missed the fandom, man. Even though Five Nights at Freddy's kind of ended already, or it ended twice, but then again, it hasn't really ended. So I think it ended now, and Five Nights at Freddy's is just a classic game, man. I just need to give it some respect. Yeah, so I drew Freddy, Bunny, Chica, and Foxy. Kind of give them like specific facial features. I like how that looked. Anyway, my friend gave me a prompt and it was skeletons, so I drew skeletons, make it look spoopy. and all. Yeah, just leave it like that. For this one, I was working with colored pencils and tried to create a character out of that. I think this was a girl I found on Pinterest. It kind of morphed her a little bit. Character designs. This is kind of like a devil and an angel. These two are sisters. There's no really story behind her yet. I still want to make a story about this. I think this was around the time where I want to make an animation, and I wanted to involve these two characters in like an animated short or something, but that's a different project for next year or more 2 years, I don't know, whatever. Here's more sketches in black and white. And this was when I used my Crayola markers to do the 1 marker challenge. And so I found a bunch of, how do I say this? It's like I searched up on Pinterest like yellow outfit styles or something like that, and some of them kind of popped up, and so I chose one of them and colored only 1 color, and the rest I kind of just shaded in with either my ballpoint pen or my micron liner. And yeah, I really like this style of page, and I ended up doing more of this in the future. Yep. So I did yellow, and then I did blue. Some of them I came up with, some of them I found on Pinterest or Google. Did pink. I think I came up with this and this. I just found this on Pinterest and I was like, looks cool. So I decided to draw that. Working with some background studies, I remember, or I know my backgrounds isn't strong, so I ended up trying to work with that. Found some references, but most of them are from my head. And I like how the orange shows through the monochromatic. It looks really cool. This is probably my #1 favorite or most hated, wrong English, jeez, whatever. My #1 hated spread. I hate this spread. I just don't like how it looks. Just move on, whatever. More blobs. If you kind of want to turn that around, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, there's that, and I did purple. I think I have reference for the 2 of these. I made up this one. Guy studies, and I actually made a video of a sketch with me on my channel. If you want to see that, there's something here. Whatever. If you want to see that video, I'll leave a link up here. I talked about what I learned through sketchbooking and what sketchbooking has taught me. So I pretty much ran on for like about 10 minutes about my sketchbook. So yeah. And I kind of take what I learned from drawing guys in these 2 spreads to making a character. Didn't really learn all that much, but I made a little character out of that. I really like how this face turned out. Yeah. And for this character, I kind of make like a little sister inspired by this guy. I inspire myself sometimes. But yeah, she's kind of steampunk pastel-ish. If I can make a doll out of this, I would probably will. But you know, no time. I think this was around the time my friend gave me this awesome ballpoint pen. I love that ballpoint pen, and yeah, it just works really well with sketching, and so I did sketches of Bendy and Cuphead. Yeah. At it again with watercolors, and so I kind of did this polar opposite thingy, but with dresses, and I really like how I did this effect for the dresses. Didn't really pan out the way I imagined, but it still looks pretty cool. It's really simple, that's why I like it. Here's another red page. I have references for all of these except for her. And let's talk about this page, shall we? This was around the time I got into the anime One Piece, and I love that anime. And I recently got into it back in September of 2018. I just got back to really liking it, guys. Like, my god, it's such a good anime. But yeah, my favorite character so far is definitely the one, the only Monkey D. Luffy, and I just love this guy. You know what? You can judge me all you want. I don't care. I love this anime and I love him. Okay, shut up. Okay, let's move on. And I remember around this time I was working with drawing Luffy just as similar as the anime as possible because he has this specific shape, facial shape that you need to follow, otherwise it just wouldn't look like Luffy. And so I tried doing a couple of sketches and I really like how this page turned out. I really like how this turned out. This smile is just cute. I was really proud of this one and this one. And after that, I have to do his brother Ace, even though he died in Marineford, and I was still really salty and sad about that. But Ace is a really hard character to draw. I remember struggling so hard with his facial shape, and he has this like specific facial shape. I felt like all the characters in One Piece, they have like a specific eye shape that makes them their character. That's what I really like about the anime style in that. So I drew Ace. He's a cute cinnamon roll. And this is kind of like another guy in anime practice because from this, I learned a lot from drawing guys and like the guy's chest and anatomy and six packs. It was really fun to draw, honestly. No, not gonna lie. And after that, I have to do Sabo because it's just the cute little trio, the ASL trio, man. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go watch One Piece. Okay, I'm being super cringy, and yeah. I really like drawing Sabo. I think he has like this cute shape that just indicates that you're a cinnamon roll, but he can still also very much kill you, so yeah. Did a finish a couple illustrations with this one. I really like how his face turned out, like just, yeah. And after this one, I kind of break away because my friend is complaining that I drew too much One Piece. And so I kind of did these two sneak peeks of both the Thousand Sunny and the Going Merry, and I really like the Going Merry, even though the Thousand Sunny is also freaking cool. But yeah, after that I drew some pirate ships I found on Pinterest and Google. Did some watercolor wash. I really like how this looked, like that wash in the background. I don't know how I did that. Breaking away from everything now, I went to my pastel stage, or not really a stage, but I was just trying to go back to working with my own style, which is like a cutesy thing. And so I did this spread. I really like how she turned out. It was correct grammar. I don't know why I was trying to fix that, but you know. I was using my gouache, my Reeves gouache. Not the best gouache, but still gouache. I didn't hate gouache, but I didn't like it as much. The texture is kind of weird on my sketchbook, and yeah. Probably my favorite out of all of this is her. She looked really nice. Yeah. Breaking away again. I think I made this up, and I kind of have like a color palette I found on Google or something of like a pastel thing, and I use my gray paint, or not gray paints, that's what am I talking about? I used my gold paints for the halo and the earrings. I really like how that looked. Once again, more One Piece, because I'm just a huge nerd, geek, otaku, whatever you want to call it. And I really like seeing Luffy wearing his Dressrosa, I think, how do you pronounce that? I like how he wears this sunflower shirt, and this is cute. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites outfits he's worn so far. This is where Inktober happens, and I asked you guys on Instagram if it was okay if I included One Piece characters into my Inktober, and you guys were like, yeah, that's fine. But I know deep down you guys were like, again? Like, really? But, you know, just leave me alone, leave me be, just leave me be. This is my sketchbook, I do whatever the hell I want. Well, yeah, again, just move on. So I started the Inktober season by drawing Luffy, Ace, Sabo in Halloween costumes. I should have left this for like Halloween, but I couldn't resist, so yeah. So here's my Inktober drawings, I guess. And some days I did follow the prompt, and some days I really didn't. I'm not really gonna talk much about this. This is kind of self-explanatory. I was trying to draw Sanji in this one. I remember I didn't follow the prompt on this one. And his legs are so incredibly hard to draw. Like, how do you get that S curve of a leg, that arch? Like, he has such fantastic legs, man. Also didn't follow the prompt on this one, but I remember this being my favorite spread of my Inktober challenge. Yep. This is just kind of like a doodle page of monsters that I made up. And this one, more Inktober, featuring the ASL brothers because they are adorable. More Inktober, I think this is the least favorite that I had. Just didn't like how it looked. Then this was the first time of me drawing Zorro, and Zorro is pretty hard to draw, honestly, because of all the muscles. But anyway, also didn't follow a prompt on this one. Just kind of came up with the top of my head because I have this like new liner that I have. Hold on, can I get it? It was this one, and I wanted to see how that react with my grays and watercolors, but I soon found out this isn't waterproof, so whatever. And so the Inktober concludes. This was just more, I think this was just me sketching out the ideas for this particular prompt, and so it turned out to be this. I really like how it looked, and I included a pun, because puns are awesome. And if you haven't seen these two videos, I'll leave a link up here. I talked about spooky stories that's been going on in my neighborhood for a couple of years, and yeah, there's that. I kind of taped it into my sketchbook because I have nowhere else to put it. This one is probably my most liked, or I don't know if this was my most liked post for Inktober, but I really liked how this turned out. I like how I did the shading. The color scheme just looks good to me. I liked it. More Inktober drawings. This one is really sad, honestly. And more Inktober drawings. Trying to warm up because I didn't know how to draw Brooke, and I'm not used at drawing skeletons, which is the bad thing because you need to know how the human body works, and the human body does have skeletons, so I need to learn how to draw skeletons more. And so I did this monstrosity. More Inktober drawings. Decided to use color on this one because I feel like if I keep using black and white, I'm gonna go insane. Kind of breaking out of that. She kind of looked like she had a tanning session going on, but let's talk about this one. This one is probably the only thing holding me back from Inktober, and I remember working on this for a long time because I wanted to look good, and I loved how it turned out. This is probably one of my favorite drawings in the sketchbook so far. Like, I just like how it turned out, okay? Just leave me alone. And this is probably what caused me to be super behind on my Inktober drawings. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist, guys. Like, and yeah. Didn't draw anything on the smudge page because I felt like it's a little too smudgy to draw anything anyways. More Inktober drawings featuring King Dice because I realized I haven't drawn Cuphead in such a while. Doodles. This was, let's just say this is kind of like a thumbnail sketch of what I wanted to do for this prompt, but I ended up going otherwise because I don't want people on Instagram saying that, oh, you draw too much One Piece, and I get that from my friend. Thanks, friend. So I ended up drawing this instead. Oh, smudge. Oh well. And here, breaking into some more color. I asked you guys on Instagram if color was allowed in Inktober, and you guys said, yeah, as long as you still used ink and not pencil, it counts. And so I did this. So I really like how she turned out, honestly. I never drew Jessica Rabbit before. And honestly, I haven't watched this film yet. I don't remember what the movie was called. Something Roger Rabbit. Yeah, I don't remember. Whatever. And now I drew Oliver in this kind of big intense style. It's like a comic book style, like with the shading and all. I think it didn't match with Oliver because he's a pretty soft character overall. But it was a cool experiment. Drawing more Oliver, my baby boy, but I kind of came back later to finish the sketchbook, so I kind of came back and filled this page because I didn't know what to do with this page at the time. So I drew Oliver in different outfits, and I like how this looked right here. He has like hair gel, just sweeps up his hair. I think that was cute. More Inktober. This took me a while because I couldn't get the hands to look right. More Inktober using more colors. This was Katakuri if you watched One Piece. This is cringy, but this is one of the newer characters that happened later on in One Piece. So yeah. I felt like this prompt was too much of an opportunity to pass up, so I have to draw Luffy. Because that's just me. This was coming back later from Inktober. I drew this on the 3rd of November, so I kind of came back later. More Inktober drawings using Boa Hancock. I think she's a really cute character overall. I like how powerful she is. I like how strong and ladylike she is. But yeah, so I drew this. More Inktober drawings. At this point, I kind of have like a color theme. So this is purple, this is reddish pink, this is blue, this is, I don't know. And yeah, this one is yellow. More Inktober drawings. This one's probably my favorite Luffy face that I've ever drew. Yeah. And for the last Inktober drawing, I drew this for Slice because I never drew Zoro before because he has such a strong facial features that I just can't draw. And so I kind of bit down and do this. I think it looked pretty good though. The muscles are really hard to draw, but whatever. After that, I did some more hand studies. And now the sketchbook concludes with my final one marker challenge on orange. And now the sketchbook concludes. Thank you for flipping through my sketchbook. And there's me. So that's it for today's sketchbook tour. I hope you guys like this video and like seeing me cringe on my own artwork sometimes. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you guys like what you see and if you're new, please subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell icon to get notified whenever I post a video because my video uploading schedule is gonna be sporadic nowadays. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!